How's it going today, guys? Welcome back to the train room. Um, I know it's been a little bit, and I have been busy on the layout, and also I've picked up a couple new accessories. I did change the layout design, but also I just been running trains, and it's something that I come down and do on a nightly basis, kind of just to relax from work, get away from that, and just kind of take my mind off of things. And one of the trains that I've been running lately is on loan from my dad. It's the Texas Special F3, the road number 2245, and this has been one that growing up, whenever we would put the Christmas tree up, it was always one that went around the Christmas tree, and it was always the one that I liked the most. Um, and so I knew that the holiday season was coming up when this thing got pulled out of the attic and put up around the tree. Growing up, we never had a full-time layout that would stay up all the time. So it kind of just made it that much more special whenever we would get to run this thing. So fast forward a couple years, my dad decided to put some trains up around his house and built shelves, put up in his living room. And he still puts it up for the holiday season, and he might run, four or five tracks around in the middle of the living room, and he sometimes runs like three tracks around the Christmas tree. So he has a lot of trains going. But in the off season, he puts them up on display, and that way they can just sit that way everybody can look at them. And I was kicking it around the idea about a month ago, and asked him, said, "Hey, what would you think if the Texas Special came home with me for a little bit? That way I can run around my layout and enjoy it, and kind of just knock the dust off of it." And he said that would be fine. So I've been really enjoying it. This is the AB unit, and I do have some passenger cars behind it. And I mean, they aren't the true Texas Special set. Over the years, I don't know, we never had those. But I did throw some passenger cars behind it. It looks really good. They are Hogwarts cars. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's just run this around the layout for a little bit and talk about it some. So like I said, this is the Texas Special. It is a AB unit and the F3 Alco. It has been one of my favorite ones. I really like the F3 style. And I was always trying to find a post-war F3. Ever since being able to, run this and see it go around the tree, it's always been one of my chase locomotives, besides the 681 that I ended up picking up at my first train show. I just really could never find one that I've been happy with, and condition and price point and operation. They are older. I believe they are from the 50s. So, I know that they're not going to be 100% perfect, and everything's going to need, a little bit of work, especially at the price point that I want to pay. So I always kept that in mind when walking around the shows, and, I didn't want to pick up the same road name as my dad had. So I have been looking for either the New York Central one. I did have my eye on a Santa Fe. And, I did have an opportunity to pick up a Texas Special AB unit, just like my dad's, for a really, an okay price, something that I would be comfortable with. But there again, it just wouldn't have been fun if I bought the same one that my dad already had, because I want to expand my collection and not kind of collect the same thing. One thing about the post-war F3s is they did have a horn, but it wasn't a super deep diesel horn like you're kind of used to today. You put a D-cell battery in the bottom here, and it shoots through and gets activated by the horn relay and goes to a 1.5 volt horn. Now, for as long as I can remember, I've never heard the horn sound in this Texas Special. Which is crazy because I've had it go along around the Christmas tree a lot of years. So when my dad gave it to me to run, it was a non-functional horn. The headlight does work. But if you heard earlier, I fixed the horn. So now I did this completely unbeknownst to my dad. It was one of those things that I planned in my head. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to come out and say I was going to fix it for him because, you know, I knew that if I said that I wanted to do that, he probably wouldn't have let me do it because he might have wanted to do it. But I think it's going to be a great surprise for him, especially since I still haven't told him. So he's either going to find out in this video or he's going to find out whenever he puts it up this Christmas. Yeah. Let's run it around the layout. I got the another Dash 8, the graffiti train that I picked up at 3 train shows ago now. I've hit a lot of train shows so far, which there for a while, it was kind of like one every weekend, and there was always something that I found there, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But like I said, the layout is changing. It is forever changing. And if you saw me in the first layout update, one of the things that I did say was my indecisiveness is really a downfall of mine because I think that something looks good there, and then I run it, and then I decide to change it, which is a whole nother reason why I haven't really dug deep into putting too much more ground cover down in the center, because I'm running the trains and kind of mapping it out in my head of, do I really want it to be like that? Do I want to change it? What do I want to run? I did have the Menards power plant over here. I used to have the engine shed over here. I have picked up some mobile trailers that I'm going to do a trailer park, and I'm now going to have the power plant over here, kind of make it marked off an industrial area. I'm going to mark off for the engine shed here, and I'm still going to do probably a pond right here with the mountain and the log cabin. Now, the mountain and the log cabin, that idea has always been that idea. That's not going to change, along with the small hill on the other side of the layout. It's just the train station, the shipping depot, everything kind of in the middle of where I want to map around, how I'm going to run my roads. Am I going to do like a dirt path or anything like that? So hopefully within the next coming weeks, I can make my mind up and just do it and be happy with it and kind of see how it turns out from there. But let's roll some more trains. that wraps it up for today. Thanks for coming along and running the Texas Special with me. It's always held a close place in my heart, just because, like I said, it's one of those sentimental value things that seeing it year in and year out, going around the Christmas tree, it was, one of those things that I got to enjoy with my dad, my brother, my children, my nephews, and, seeing that in the living room always let me know that the holidays are right around the corner. So I do have a bunch of work to do on the layout. Like I said, right now I'm really just doing stuff underneath. I got everything pulled out, running all the wiring. Now that I'm pretty sure that I know where the buildings are going to go, dropping feeder lines down, hooking my bus bars up. That way I can hook those, and that way everything has lights. So I did put lights in my shipping depot. The lights do work in the Oak Grove train station. The lights work on the power plant, but that works as a different system. All of the mobile homes are lit. So I have a lot of wiring to do, and I have a lot of wiring to do on top of doing a lot of scenery. But fixing this for my dad was kind of just one of those things that I wanted to do as a surprise for him, maybe kind of like an early Christmas present, just to get it up, running tip-top shape for him, and that way he can enjoy it just as much as I do, because I know he does love this one dearly. It was always one of the ones that we brought it out of the attic. I was always the most careful with, because I knew what value and what sentimental value this thing held as being part of our family. So, if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to stop back and check by. We're going to have a lot of things coming along as far as layout updates. I have picked up a lot of new trains. So we're going to have some videos on some of those. Sneak peek one was the Hogwarts one. But I don't know if I'm going to do a full run video on that. I'm probably just going to sneak it in. I think we're going to do a train run video of, you don't have to hear me talking. We're just going to do nothing but running trains for the duration of the video. I always seem to like those ones, so I wanted to do that one myself when I collected enough trains. So if you like what you saw, go and hit the subscribe button. Let's ride those rails together.